Welcome to the UpNext AI podcast. It's Thursday, July 9th, 2026, and here's what matters in AI today. First up, xAI has released Grok 4.5. According to TechCrunch, the company put out the new model on Wednesday and is positioning it as a cheaper, more efficient alternative to other top-tier systems. Elon Musk described it as an Opus-class model, comparing it to Anthropic's heavy-duty tier while arguing that Grok 4.5 is faster and lower cost. TechCrunch reports that xAI is pitching Grok 4.5 as a general workhorse for coding, app building, office work, research, writing, and other routine knowledge tasks. The company also says the model has greater token efficiency than other leading models, and it published benchmark charts meant to show that Grok is competitive with the top end of the market, even if the story here is really the capability plus cost mix rather than a clean claim of benchmark leadership. The pricing details in TechCrunch's reporting are part of that pitch. xAI says Grok 4.5 cost $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens. So the headline is not just another model launch. It's a pricing and efficiency play at a moment when token cost is becoming a much bigger part of how buyers judge frontier systems. And that framing matters. A model that is close enough on capability but materially cheaper to run can change adoption faster than a model that wins a few more eval points. We'll see how that holds up in real-world usage, but for now, Grok 4.5 looks like xAI's attempt to compete on the full package: speed, cost, and solid enough frontier performance. From there, a broader research signal. Nvidia says open models and open infrastructure are now deeply embedded in mainstream AI research. In a post ahead of ICML 2026, Nvidia says it had 74 papers accepted at the conference and that around 2,000 accepted papers cite Nvidia GPUs. It also says 145 papers cite Nematron, its family of open models and datasets, with additional research drawing on Cosmos, Isaac GR00T, and BioNeMo across robotics, physical AI, autonomous vehicles, and biomedical work. The useful takeaway here is bigger than Nvidia promotion. The company's argument is that open frontier models are no longer just side projects or academic curiosities. They're becoming part of the research stack itself. Open weights, open datasets, and open recipes that other teams can build on. Nvidia points to examples across several areas. In robotics, it highlights Dream Dojo, which uses Cosmos models to help systems reason about physical environments from human video. In life sciences, it points to BioNeMo-related work, including FLIP2, a public benchmark for protein mutation prediction, and CurMT, a model for molecular properties relevant to drug discovery. And in deployment economics, it says KiloCode integrated Nematron into its code routing setup and reported token cost reductions of up to 90%. There's a lot of company framing here, so it's worth keeping that in mind. But even with that caveat, the story is a useful snapshot of where OpenAI infrastructure seems to be gaining traction. Not just in chatbots, but in robotics, biology, simulation, and other research-heavy domains where reproducibility and adaptation really matter. Now for the research note. A new arXiv paper from earlier this week is titled Institutional Red Teaming. Deployment rules, not just models, causally shape multi-agent AI safety. And the core idea is refreshingly practical. The paper proposes an evaluation method for multi-agent systems that holds the agent's objectives and task state fixed, and then changes just one deployment rule at a time. That way, researchers can more cleanly attribute changes in system behavior to the rule itself. In other words, if you want to know whether a system became safer, don't only ask whether the model improved. Ask whether the operating rules around that model changed the outcome. The paper says those rules can causally alter collective safety, and it frames this as an evaluation workflow for multi-agent AI rather than just a one-off experiment. A multi-agent system here simply means several AI agents interacting under a shared set of rules. There are limits to what we can say from the provided material. We don't have the full spread of results across every tested condition, and this is more about methodology than a turnkey safety prescription. Bottom line, for multi-agent AI, the policy layer around a model may be a real safety lever, so teams should red team the rules, not just the model. Are you building apps with voice? Elevate your app's voice capabilities with 11 Labs. Their API is a game changer for embedding dynamic, responsive voice interactions in your applications, providing unprecedented realism, flexibility, and latency. In fact, you're listening to one of their voices right now. If you are a developer looking to elevate user experience with natural voice interfaces, this is your solution. Visit upnext.fm/11 to check out their latest offerings. OpenAI has published a principle-style post outlining its approach to government and national security partnerships. The company frames that work around responsible AI use, democratic accountability, and public safety. With the available source material, this reads more as a framework statement than a concrete announcement of new contracts or deployments. Paradigm, the crypto-focused venture firm, has raised a $1.2 billion fund that it says will invest in the technical frontier beyond crypto, including AI and robotics. TechCrunch reports this is the firm's third venture fund and fourth overall, and that it expands Paradigm's focus rather than replacing its crypto investing outright. And Ashley Smith has announced a second $25 million fund for Vermilion Cliffs Ventures, with backing for startups in AI, security, and more. Before we wrap up, a quick note. This podcast is generated with the assistance of AI and is intended for informational purposes only. All referenced articles, research, and commentary remain the property of their original authors and publishers. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review, and that's your briefing for today. Full source links are in the episode notes, and we'll be back tomorrow with What's Up Next.